The phenomenon that you just witnessed is called spontaneous synchronization. It occurs when weighted metronomes are placed on a flat surface that is allowed to freely oscillate. The oscillation of the base that the metronomes are sitting on causes some of the metronomes to speed up, which will slowly sync them up and match the phases of the metronomes so that they tick in sync. This particular physics demonstration is quite famous. I saw it for the first time on Discovery Channel when I was a kid, and then again in 12th grade physics. And it's been around forever. UCLA chose to do their demonstration with 2 aluminum cans and a 2x4, so that tells you how easy it must be. But the question you're probably asking yourself is, what does this have to do with your project? And I made music with it. I made music with metronomes that were syncing with each other. Allow me to explain. To the best of my knowledge, I'm one of the first people to do this. Of course, the physics phenomenon is well demonstrated. If you care about math and calculus, I've included a study in my write-up that really explains how the synchronization of metronomes actually works when you get right down to it. I can't even understand that paper or begin to understand it because I do music and not calculus, but you can read it if that kind of thing interests you. But to my knowledge, I'm one of the first people to make music with it. Outside of like university demonstrations of students doing this for projects, I think I'm the first person to try to make something with this phenomena. So yeah, I wish I could use real metronomes, but I can't because I don't own them. It would be nice to recreate the physics demonstration and then just sample the rhythms from that. But I can't do that. So instead, I opted to use Reaper. And what I did was I took a MIDI controller like this one. I just unplugged it from my computer, actually. It freaked out. But I took a MIDI controller like this one. And I just input the most repetitive MIDI data you could get, just like the same note over and over again, like middle C, bop, 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 over and over again, for like 3 minutes. And then I synced it all up and quantized it so it was perfectly on beat, just like a metronome. And then I duplicated that a few times until I had 4 of those note metronomes, and I programmed each one to a different pitch. They happen to make up a C major 7 chord, if you care. But to get the metronome effect, I had to change the speeds of the MIDI tracks. And this took me forever. I had no idea how to do this. But after a long time of searching, and I mean really searching, and spending probably an hour deep in the Reaper forums, I learned how to change the speed of MIDI tracks and make them ignore the song's overall tempo. So then I had 4 one-note MIDI tracks representing different chord tones that I set to different BPMs. When you set metronomes to different BPMs, what'll happen, if you make them into BPMs that are at least somewhat round numbers, they will slowly fall in and out of sync with each other. And that's what happens in my song, is I essentially created a really weird arpeggiator using random MIDI data in the place of metronomes. And it's really neat. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, so I changed the different MIDI tracks. I think they're set to, or the original track is 120 beats per minute. And I think they're set to 112.5, 115, 117.5, and 120 beats per minute. That's where the 4 different metronomes are set. And together, they make this really cool sound where they fall in and out of phase. You'll be able to hear that in my song. I'm sure that if I was a better percussionist, I could have done something really cool with this like oscillating arpeggiator sound. But I'm not a percussionist. I'm a guitarist. But the chords falling in and out of sync with each other, or at least the chord tones falling in and out of sync with each other, creates this really ethereal effect where the strong and the weak beats kind of fall in different places, because when a couple of the metronomes hit together in sync, but the other ones don't, it'll imply a strong and a weak beat. But because the metronomes are moving in and out of sync with each other, the weak and strong beats move around. And that's really difficult to track, but was really fun as a musician, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, without further ado, this is my 207 project. Thanks.